Sup Home Skeleton, Smooth Singer 422, and welcome back to Let's Play Trauma Team. Last time we left off, we were getting a major assist by mi amiga Boricua Binks 217, or 217, I think that's how she says it. And yeah, she really helped me out because I was facing a humongous roadblock. We found out that the guy that we're trying to figure out whether or not he was murdered or committed suicide, we found out a little more about him thanks to his ex-girlfriend. And thanks to his ex-girlfriend, she told us that, come to find out, he's a drug dealer. So this kind of elevates the whole, premise of the investigation a little bit, because now he's not just, a regular victim. I mean, yes, he's a potential victim if he was in fact murdered, but yeah, there could be a whole lot of different circumstances and new possibilities now that we found that out about him. So, I think the next thing that we have to do, I think we had to get this guy to figure out what this white powder was on the floor. I think we have a pretty good idea of what this is. Yeah, I think we all do. It's baking soda. I'll have it investigated in any case. Can you please wait? Wow, he got right back to me.
About that white powder that was spread on the floor. There were traces of drugs found within it. A number of different sets of footprints were identified in that powder as well. They all belong to the firefighters, police, and you, of course.
I see. That means...
The footprints found in the drugs were all from firefighters, policemen, and myself. This tells us that they fell when the fire started, the killer is a firefighter, the drugs were there for days, Dennis committed suicide. I want to say they fell when the fire started. Since our footprints, the policemen and the firefighters, were the only footprints that were found, I think that should be right. Cool. Drugs on floor. Okay, well, maybe it's not necessarily baking soda.
Exactly. That would be the case. The room belonged to the deceased. If the drugs had been spread on the floor before the incident, his footprints should be there as well.
Yes.
But the only footprints in the room were from people who had entered after the fire.
Right.
This would mean that the drugs would have to have been spread before or soon after the fire began.
Yeah, sounds about right. The hole hidden behind the shelf. Nothing was inside it but more of the white powder found on the floor. So can I match these two?
Alright, let's go over the information we've gathered.
Okay, I guess so.
First, the white powder.
A white powder was found on the floor in Dennis's apartment. This powder was revealed to be drugs, flour, powdered toast, baby formula. Unless he's babysitting, a drug dealer babysitting, and, got some powdered toast. I don't even know what the heck powdered toast looks like. We already ruled out that it was not flour or any one of these three. Homeboy told us that there were drugs found within that powder.
Yes, the trail of drugs led directly to the hole behind the shelf. If the same powder from the floor was inside the hole, then...
The hole discovered in the wall in Dennis's room was a large mouse hole, a place to throw drugs away, a place to hide his drugs, the killer's secret escape route. So, a large mouse hole? No. place to throw drugs away? I mean, maybe, but I don't know any drug dealers that would want to throw away their product. A place to hide his drugs, a very strong possibility, or the killer's secret escape route. I highly doubt that because that hole is nowhere near big enough to fit that guy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that it was a place to hide his drugs.
That's right. But there weren't any drugs inside the hole. The layer of drugs had footprints from the firefighters, the police, and me left in them. All of the footprints had something in common.
One thing all the footprints found in the drugs on the floor had in common is they're from male shoes, they're from the police, they were made after the fire, they were made before the fire. Now if we think about this logically, that doesn't make any sense because obviously she's a female, so no, they're not made from male shoes. They're from the police? Well, actually, they're from the firefighters and her as well, and she's not with the police. They were made after the fire? They were made before the fire. Well, I think homeboy and old girl kind of came to the conclusion that those footprints were made after the fire.
Any footprints from before the time the fire began. So from this, we can deduce that the drugs must have been scattered on the floor when...
There were no footprints in the drugs that were made prior to the start of the fire. This indicates that they were scattered after the fire, sitting there for days, scattered just before the fire, scattered by me. She would have known if it was scattered by her. If it was sitting there for days, there would have been other people's footprints besides hers, the police, and the firefighters. Scattered just before the fire. If you read this, there were no footprints in the drugs that were made prior to the start of the fire. Boom. That can't be it. Scattered after the fire. Sounds about right to me. Oh, what? Oh my gosh, I done goofed. That's embarrassing.
Concentrate.
Okay. Scattered just before the fire. Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry guys. I feel like a noob.
Yes. If I take this even further, I'd say that it would have been after Mr. Taylor stopped moving. In other words, it must have happened between his death and when the fire started.
Okay.
But why were there drugs on the floor?
The drugs were placed on the floor at around the time the fire started. They were on the floor because whoever took them dropped them to lead me to discover the hole. Dennis is a slob. They're absorbed through the souls. I don't know about this one. Dennis is a slob, that's probably true, but I don't think that's the right answer. To lead me to discover the hole, that would take some serious future thought, you know, for that to be true. I'm going to go ahead and say whoever took them dropped them, but I've been proven wrong within like the past like minute and a half, so here we go. Solid evidence. Our first one. Oh. So this is it. This is all that needs to be done with this.
Yes, they must have spilled out when someone removed the drugs from the hole in the wall.
Right?
Dennis Taylor was killed, and someone walked out with the drugs.
They wanted that drugs.
I'm starting to get a clearer picture of what happened here, but there's no proof just yet. I need to move on to the next step. I should consult with the little guy about this.
Let's talk to him.
Dr. Kimishima, have you confirmed that it's a murder after all?
There's a strong probability.
I don't know how you heard about that so quickly, little guy. Have you been eavesdropping on me?
No,
Forget it. I can see right through you.
Huh.
oh, right, I have a new tool for you. It's luminol.
Ooh,
I need to explain it to you?
Reminds me of Phoenix Wright. See Phoenix Wright Let's Plays.
A chemiluminescent material based on reducing 5-nitrothalhydrazide with sodium dithionite. It reacts to iron and hemoglobin by glowing, making it useful to find otherwise hidden bloodstains.
There you go.
Anything else?
No.
Good. I just spray this onto suspicious areas, then shine the ALS on it, right? I'm sure it will be useful. Thank you, little guy.
There you go. So I think that's it. Let's go to the crime scene and do some luminol testing. Actually, let me see something real quick in the evidence room. Okay, they told me that. There seems to be something important in what the body was wearing, but what is it? Didn't we already find out what it was? I mean, didn't we already find out? I'm pretty sure we already found out what it was. Is there a way for me to, like... Let me see something before I do the luminol thing.
What you want, man? Why you The name's, yeah, she could probably... That guy, huh? We've been he called me up out of the blue. That wasn't really important. It was just how he normally... He was all proud. The red ones are Didn't you know that?
Okay.
His job, huh?
I don't know. I feel like there's something else that I have to do with some of that evidence, but I'm just gonna keep pressing. I'm gonna press on with this luminol. Alright. Luminol reagent spray is useful for examining crime scenes. Okay. Tilt the stick while zoomed in and press A to use it. After the spray, shine the ALS to reveal bloodstains. Try using it on suspicious areas.
here too.
Okay. Bloodstains on floor has been obtained.
If these are from the deceased, we may be able to use this with something else that we know.
Oh. I just want to spray everything. Oh, what do we have here? Glad I checked.
Huh. There's a reaction to blood on this screw that's securing the doorknob.
Oh.
The screw seems rather loose as well.
I'm having an idea. Maybe this isn't a locked door mystery after all, ladies and gentlemen.
Come to think of it, the door to this room was chained shut when the fire started. Could this be related to that in some way?
Possibly. If there's nothing else after this, I think I may have found everything. Okay. That might be it. I think we found a good amount of stuff, though. This is a good look. Let's chain some evidence together. What is this about? No? Okay. Oh. I'll have Homeboy analyze this.
Dr. Kimishima, we've identified the blood on the screw.
That fast? How?
It's a DNA match with the victim, Dennis Taylor.
Oh.
Why would his blood be there, of all places?
It's simple. What happened was...
The reason Dennis's blood was found on the screw in the door is Dennis touched it, blood spatter, it touched the murder weapon, the killer was finger painting. Bruh, that's hilarious. Alright, this is a really hard one. Hold on. The reason Dennis's blood was found on the screw in the door. He might have touched it. No.
I can't mess around anymore. It's time to get serious.
Oh my gosh. Maybe blood spatter? Oh man.
I can't mess around anymore. It's
I'm
time
doing
to get
really
serious.
bad, ladies and gentlemen. Well, since the killer couldn't have been finger painting, I guess it touched the murder weapon. Wow.
That's right. It's probably because it touched the murder weapon.
Wait, why would the killer touch that screw with the murder weapon?
He would have to, if the weapon was... I can't make any more rash decisions. I need to think cautiously.
Something that is needed to place screws that came in contact with Dennis's. I'll have to say maybe, my first thought is a screwdriver. Maybe? Okay. Wow. Bloody screw has become real murder weapon.
Yes, a screwdriver. It was likely used to both loosen and tighten that screw.
I see. Then the screwdriver left the blood on the screw while he was covering his tracks.
Can I link these two? The killer stabbed it. Ooh, I get it. See?
Yes, these pieces of information are hiding an important fact. I didn't notice because the bleeding had stopped completely, but this isn't a bruise. It's a stab wound.
There it is.
This strange pattern here is likely... I can't make any more rash decisions.
I know.
I need to think cautiously.
I would have to say, the distinct bruise would have to be the screwdriver's handle. Because I don't think the tip would leave a bruise. It would just pierce the skin. The handle wouldn't actually pierce the skin, but it would leave a bruise. And if you looked at the screwdriver, you could see a little star shape.
Yes, that's right. It's indisputable evidence that the weapon was jammed in so deeply that the grip left a bruise.
Interesting. Am I missing anything else? I don't know. The screwdriver pierced Dennis's lung, causing him to suffocate. Wow. This explains the eye abnormalities. Well, can we link that?
Yes. These do lead the way to a definite truth. Looking at the location of the bruise, the tip of the screwdriver must have pierced Dennis's lung. His lung would then rupture, causing pulmonary emphysema, and he would have suffocated. This explains the spots of hemorrhaging in the corpse's eyes.
Wow. The card true cause of death has been obtained.
What actually happened that day is slowly coming to light now.
Interesting. Dennis seemed depressed around noon, and the electrician said it wasn't surprising that he committed suicide. But there's another account that gives a different impression. Okay. Dennis died from suffocation caused by the screwdriver wound that pierced his lung. If that's true, there's a contradiction with his personal effects. Okay, let's go back to the lab. Dennis died from a suffocation caused by the screwdriver wound that pierced his lung. If that's true, there's a contradiction with his person. I wonder what the contradiction is. Let me go back. There's something that doesn't quite fit here, considering the victim's cause of death. I should go check the personal effects once more. Yep, that's where I'm headed. I found the true cause of death. Now there's something that I have to check. Wouldn't there be... If it pierced his lung... Wouldn't...
This is odd.
Yeah, That's it. Okay, man. I just realized it was like an epiphany. Yo, there should be a freaking hole where he got stabbed. This isn't the freaking shirt that he was wearing.
If the puncture wound in the abdomen was the true cause of death, I can't make any more rash decisions. I need to think cautiously.
Judging from the damage to the corpse, the one thing that must be on the clothing at the same location is blood stains from the stab wound.
Right. There should be blood stains in a hole where the screwdriver went through his clothing.
Right. The card inconsistent clothing has been obtained. Yeah, that's weird, man. Okay. Just wanted to make sure there was nothing on the body. Let me double check real quick. I've noted the inconsistency of the clothing, but I can't find anything more for now. Okay, cool, I'm done with this. Let me try to find at least one or two more things before I end this video. I'm gonna head to the office. Okay. Can I talk to him? Nope. There was no damage or blood on the victim's clothing from the wound to his abdomen, so it was changed. Certainly was. The screw on the door plate was very loose. I need to have this analyzed in greater detail. Okay.
What's this? It just looks like a loose screw to me.
Think harder, little guy. How was the room when the firefighters arrived at the scene? The entrance was closed, but was it completely inaccessible? I can't make any more rash decisions.
When the body was discovered,
cautiously.
the door to Dennis's room was chained and deadbolted, locked only by the chain, locked only by a deadbolt, completely unlocked. Well, if we think about it, to be completely honest, I think I remember it was only locked by the chain, so maybe that leaves room for possibilities.
That's right. The chain on the door had been attached, but the door itself wasn't locked.
Sorry, but the door only opens about 15 centimeters with the chain attached. I don't even think a small child could get through a space that small.
You're so unimaginative. Flex your mind and think about it. Listen to me. What I'm trying to tell you is, I can't make any more rash decisions.
Killer was able to
I
go
need to think
through the
cautiously.
door with the chain shut by removing one screw, using directed explosive, using a different entrance, jump kicking through it. AKA Steven Seagal. Hey, I mean, we have the screwdriver, right? It wouldn't take much to slide your hand through and just unscrew it.
This loose screw tells us everything.
It does.
With the screw removed, the entire plate on the door can be swiveled around by the doorknob. The plate itself is about 20 centimeters long, so the gap increases to almost 35 centimeters. How big does somebody have to be that he couldn't fit through a space that size?
Oh, I see now. That's more than enough room to get past the door. So the killer just screwed the plate back on from the outside after he left the room then?
I think that's the most likely explanation.
It's not a locked door mystery, that's for sure.
But the killer was in plain sight once he was outside the door. He wanted to finish quickly. The killer couldn't completely tighten the screw and left the area as we found it.
Right.
Wow. That proves that this isn't quite the locked room mystery we thought it was.
Right.
Still, this doesn't help us figure out who the killer is. I need to investigate the situation in more detail.
And we will investigate the situation in more detail next time, guys. Yeah, we really found a lot out. We actually have gained 2 solid pieces of evidence, even though I did make some mistakes along the way. I'll definitely try to do better as far as that's concerned. But like I said, we found 2 solid pieces of evidence. We're really piecing together these pieces of evidence, and I'm pretty pleased with what we have so far. I can't wait to see what happens. I know this chapter is a little bit longer. Well, actually, it's a lot longer than the other characters' chapters that I've played so far, but you know what? Man, this is a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope y'all have a good day / good night, and adios, some skillets.